Alright, before taxi flow, avionics master is coming on. Your Garmin is going to load, and then it's going to come to this page. You always want to make sure that this date is in the future so you have an accurate GPS database. From there, you're going to press OK, OK again, and it's going to load. Give it a second to load. Then from there, this top portion here is your COM 1. This portion here is your COM 2. So you want to make sure that you have ground and tower in your COM 1, and that you have BSU and your weather in COM 2. So right now, we're going to listen to the weather here. You want to make sure that this top part is talking, and this is listening. This is how you toggle between your weather and BSU. So when I flip this, it's going to actually have someone talking.
Runway 32, and from the runway 1.
So now we're talking and listening on COM 2. Now we're going to talk and listen on COM 1. And right now we're talking to tower. And if I want to talk to ground, I'm going to hit this button here, and it's going to toggle between ground and tower. So now we're talking to ground. Avionics setup procedure. What we're going to do now is we're going to listen to the weather so we can go ahead and set our flight instruments.
Attend to runway 14. Taxiway Bravo has non-standard surface markings between.
Once we get all of our weather, we're going to make sure our airspeed indicator is 0. Attitude indicator is erect and stable within 5 minutes. Altimeter is set for the current altimeter setting. You want to make sure it's within 75 feet of our elevation, which is 79. Turn coordinator doesn't have any flags. Our DG, you want to make sure you set it with the magnetic compass by pushing in. Looks like it's 325, so we're going to move that to 325. I like to use this bug here for our winds, and this bug here for our runway. And then our vertical speed, make sure it's stable at 0. Flight instrument setup procedure is executed. Pre-taxi and departure brief. Who is PIC and who's pilot flying? Student is acting PIC while his instructor is actually the pilot in command. We'll do a normal takeoff off runway 23, 5,400 foot of distance on a dry runway, paved. Rotate speed 55, climb out at 79. Departure direction, we'll do a standard northeast departure. ODPs, obstacle departure procedure, standard instrument departure procedures, or noise abatement for that type of runway. Start cockpit for 1,000 feet or critical phases of flight. Positive exchange of flight controls. My flight control, your flight control, my flight control, if we do have to exchange flight controls. If we have an emergency on the runway, throttle is going to come to idle. Maintain directional control, full brake, get off the runway, and make a call to tower. If you're airborne with runway remaining, you want to land, throttle idle, directional control, brake taxi off, and call again. Airborne with no runway remaining, under 1,000 feet, we'll make shallow turns. We'll look at the windsock to determine which way we're going to turn, and we'll land at a suitable area. Above 1,000 feet, we'll make shallow turns to the left or right. Once again, you want to look at your windsock for current conditions back to the airport. If I see anything unsafe, let me know and I'll do the same. Then you're going to ask, did you miss anything? Does anyone have any questions? Alright, pre-taxi and departure brief are executed. Flaps are going to come up. When you bring the flaps up, you want to make sure that both of the flaps come up at the same time in a nice even transition. And once those come up, lights, we're going to turn on our taxi and our nav light. Flight controls, we're going to do our flight control box. So we're going to start in the middle. Basically, put your thumbs up, go to the left. This thumb is up, so our left aileron should be up. We're going to come back. Our elevator is going to come back now. We're going to go to the right, thumbs up, right aileron is up. We're going to push back, elevator comes down smoothly, come back to neutral, and everything is stable again. So to check the rudders, what you're going to do is you're going to put your feet on the bottom portion of the pedals, and you're going to push left and push right, and you're going to look for even transition between the two. When you check the tail, you're going to press left, press right, and you're going to make sure there's an even transition between the rudder and the rudder pedals. So our box check, we're going to do our flight control box. We're going to put our thumbs up. We're going to start to the left. Our thumb is up, so that means our left aileron's going to come up. We're going to come back. Elevator comes up. Go to the right. Right aileron is up. Elevator still up. Push down. Elevator comes down. And back to the neutral position. And we've checked our flight controls. They are free and correct for all positions.